We're back with Katawa Shoujo, and um we're almost done the first act. We're about to branch off into one person, like their own. It's pretty fast, I gotta admit. And we still have 3 more acts to go. Actually, it's been like almost 6 hours. We still have like 3 more acts, even though it feels like it's been fast. It's actually been a really long time. And I don't want to commit to anything yet, but I might want to do all the girls acts, just for like completion's sake or something. I don't know. I just want to. But that's gonna take a lot of time and effort. So I'm not committing to that right now. I'm not promising anything. But yeah, think about that. I'll think about that. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of the people that have worked through the night. With one day left to prepare, I suppose it's not surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Matao lurches in the class in a tired stagger. I suppose students are the only people here to enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely a typical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has more the class antisocial, and not a peep is heard among this ruffling of papers. Wait a second. Wait. We're not running anymore. That's what happened today. The new day. We stopped running. We disappeared in class after we woke up. That can be partly attributed to the 2 empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha, I don't even notice Matao approaching my desk. Sure. What's that about? What's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Matao stands in the hallway scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what is going on, I wait silently. So tell me, how are things? Things? I expect Matao to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You've had a week to settle in now, so how are things? Er, fine, I guess. I see. And how is your condition? The pause before... Oh, I forgot the pause, my bad. The pause before condition seemed a little unnecessary. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Matao's face. Good, that's good. The school nurse has a little concern that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. What? He's concerned that I'm pushing myself too hard, but then he got mad at me for not doing any exercise. He asked me to he asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely, as much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get as a normal school. You have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure that you know what those limits are, and then how to maximize your potential with them. Do you follow me? I guess, I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's a start, I guess. So then, On to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Matao taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there that realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, we gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in the world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the lay person, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Matao's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at the suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Matao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever called me that before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they're working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped at the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Matao doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Matao and I left it in before class. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get a last-minute preparation underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answer for those problems by Monday. The class sighs at once, as one instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. Class empties in the blink of an eye, as everyone rushes to the last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to finish the questions so I'm getting deja vu. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business. I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn the page of my notebook. Nako turns the page of a novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish the paragraph. The sounds of an irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around the spur sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Nako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. But why would Lily leave her to her own devices? It seems to be quite out of the ordinary, going by Hanako's reactions. Ah, that's right. I think Lily mentioned something about going into town today before Rin bumped into us. The thought of that walk makes me look outside. The bright sun and occasional people wandering around and enjoying the afternoon makes me yearn to get out of the school. Or at least do something other than sit here. Giving into one of the worst vices, procrastination, I decided that history is a subject best studied on a Sunday, or a Monday, or any other day than this one. I give a grunt as I lever myself out of my seat, briefly debating with myself whether or not to hang out with Kenji. Probably not. He doesn't strike me as enjoying the nice weather outside with others kind of person, really. I guess I'll catch up with him later. Changing tacks, I briefly entertained the idea of talking with Hinako. By the time I look at her seat, it's vacant. She must have left for the library. There's gotta be something to do that can kill the time. And, well, this is it. This is it. Who will I go for in the first playthrough, or first read-through on this channel? The library is obviously Hanako, because we just talked about her going to the library, and going for the walk into town. Lily was talking about this earlier, like we mentioned before. So this is it. Who will we go for? Hanako or Lily? They both have really good, let's be honest, most of these have really good stories to tell. On my first read through of this, should I just go with the person I went with on my first read through? Because it was one of these two. This is the time to act now. This is why I was talking about, this is what I was talking about with, having to choose and, like, reading through every person's acts and stuff, whatever, at the start of the part, or session. I think this is actually a really hard decision for me. I don't know why. We're about to start the second act of this, after this, we won't have any more options, and we'll start the second act of this, this visual novel, I guess you could say. Okay, you know what? I'll confirm now that I'll do the other girls' parts, because they're all really good, and I guess I wanna share it with you, even though you can read it. So let's choose. Who should we be with for the rest of this read through? Let's go to the library. The library seems as good a place as any to go. Hanako looked as if she was taken pretty off guard by Lily leaving, so she might want someone to talk to. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, I make my way out of the classroom. I walk down the hallway to the library, past a multitude of closed doors, though each one on the sound of furious rehearsal can be heard. Rock music blares out of one door, almost as loud as a concert. I guess that's one of the advantages of a private school. There are actually enough rooms to go around at a time like this. And when I think about it, the ground and building of the school are kept in pretty good condition. That can't be too cheap. I've heard that this place has some pretty serious benefactors. The walls of the library only partially insulate the noise of the festival preparations, but they're the only sound to be heard. And not a soul stirs here, with everyone apparently enjoying the weather outside or working on the festival events. Yuko isn't here either. Maybe she doesn't work on Saturdays. I quietly walk through the library now, fairly familiar with its layout. I head to the back, where Hanako's private little corner is. I run my hand along the spine of the book on my way through, feeling the individual texture of each as I glance across the titles. I used to do this all the time at the library at the hospital. Some things never change, I guess. Like the smell of the library, no matter how much you take, the paper in books is always going to degrade with time. Probably no matter which library you go into, anywhere in the world it must have the same musty smell. I find something that looks like enough to read without any major thought involved, then look for Hanako in the reading area. Once again, she is sitting on a beanbag on her way back with her back to a bookshelf, reading the same book she had in the classroom. She's slowly making her way through the pages. Like last time I saw her here, I quietly take a seat in the beanbag. The noise is enough to catch her attention, but not startle her. This delicate routine that must be followed each and every time I try to talk to her almost feels like a hunting game. Hunting for the Hanako. Is that the same book as before? Yes, I'm almost finished. Cool. I wonder if I should. Do you mind if I borrow it when you're finished? My mouth is faster than my mind, it seems. Sure, you may not like it, but I'm sure it can't be that bad. After all, you stuck with it, haven't you? I guess. Way to cut her off. Wait, did she? I don't even realize. I don't even know. I settled into my beanbag and set about reading my own book that had been buried in my bag. It's a light novel about pirates. To be honest, I'm barely skimming over the words, having chosen this book merely because it belongs to a different genre than I usually read. Finding it hard to muster enough enthusiasm to finish the book, and noting that I've inadvertently distracted Hanako quite a bit, I decided to try and make conversation. So you see, Lily left without you. She nods before taking her eyes off the book. She must have been really into it after all. Lily said she had to go and meet someone. Oh. Kira. Her sister. Sister? I haven't heard talk about her family. She and Akira used to live together. I thought all the students lived in the dorms. We don't have to. But it's easier, right? I mean, there's food here and you're close to the school. I don't think I've ever been to class on time so often in my life. Her badly hidden smile proves quite rewarding. Oh. In the back of my mind, I know I have a bit of homework to catch up on. But it's quite comfortable in here. No one can find me and force me into working for their pet project either. Though now that I'm thinking about the festival, another question comes up. Hey Hanako, what are you doing for the festival? For a split second, I think Hanako is about to throw her book in the air from shock. So sorry? I was just asking what you're doing for the festival tomorrow. Anything planned? I don't know. Hanako answers in the way that people do when they don't want you to ask any more questions. I take it large crowds and loud music aren't really your thing. Oh, okay. Change the subject. So what's Lily's sister like? She's nice. She's pretty like Lily, but she dresses business-like. Business-like? She's always wearing a suit. Ah, I see. That makes her less pretty somehow? Naoko gives an embarrassed shake of her head. No, just different. I'll admit it. It's got me intrigued. To hear Naoko talk about someone other than Lily is a first. To be complimentary about it too. But as I try to picture this mysterious sister, all I can think of is Lily in a suit, and I can't imagine not being attractive, not at all. Well, one day, you'll have to introduce me to her. Oh, okay. Our brief conversation ends as abruptly as it started, and we both return to our novels. The passage of time is marked only by a gradual movement of the patch of light. What? Oh, okay, wait. Catch to the window. Slowly the noise from the various rehearsals in the building fade out and die as students start getting hungry and tired. Just thinking about this makes my stomach start to turn knots around itself. I think it's time to head back. Do you think Lily would be back by now? I think I might head back to my dorms. I'm pretty tired from this week. Not a word of that is a lie. Moving to a new school as it ramps up for a major event has been taxing, to say the least. I can feel myself nodding off as I read my book. Oh, okay, I might stay here a little longer. Looking at Anako's book, I can see that she's only a few pages away from completing it. For a moment, I considered hanging around until she finishes, but once again my stomach turns emitting a gurgling sound. Sure thing. Well, I'm going to head off before it gets dark. I'll see you around, okay? Okay. See you, Asao. Later. Asao! Hmm? Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh. Oh. I can see how hard it was for her to get that simple sentence out of her mouth. It leaves me hanging for a moment. So, there's someone in the school who's even lonelier than me. Maybe lonely is the wrong word. I've been lacking company for this week. First week, but I've still managed to feel somewhat alone and detached. Maybe lonely is the wrong word for Nako too. She has Lily after all, doesn't she? I realized I've been standing there for far too long without answering to pull off a flawless, non-exaggerated smile. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ugh. My heart. Good night, Hanako. Ugh. Good night. Fuck. Fucking. I leave her to finish her book and head back to the dorms, and the promise of food.